Let's get the show on the road. So Ashe, greetings. A grand day, a grand evening or night to you all. Once again, my fellow team, Be More members, RideBNB community builders, members, guests, skeptics, critics, and well-wishers alike. And as it is my custom, and of course, the right thing to do, first I must say thanks for accepting our invitation and for taking time out of your family time, possibly your work time, your recruiting time, your possible making money time, and playtime just to be present and to listen to me and to listen to the thought-provoking philosophies and thought-provoking perspectives that I am about to continue sharing with you this evening. Of course, I was not anticipating a great turnout because I was informed of the collision with other meetings. And so some of my members that would be here, they are now attending the other meeting and asked that I record and share the recording with them. So that is what I'm doing. And yes, welcome to part 2 of this, my 3-part lecture presentation titled Know Your Worth. Don't settle for less. Focus on your goal and follow your plan to achieve it. And the subtitle, of course, is another perspective on how to ethically get the maximum payout benefits from the RideBNB community build smart contract compensation plan. And I am yours truly, Dr. David G. Jones, aka the Mystic Philosopher. Now, I know some of you have complained that my lectures are long, which by some people's standard is yes, and that you have a very short concentration span, thereby implying that I should condense them to be much shorter. The truth be told, I have so much to say on almost all the subjects on which I speak, and I have already condensed them, and I'm trying my best to keep them within an hour. However, I do not want to condense them just to facilitate those that are quite understandably short concentration spanned, and to the point of losing the essence of the messages, etc., that are in my lectures. And so I have recorded, and I'm recording them. I've recorded before, and I'm recording, and I will be recording the rest. And should you find them worthy of further listening, I will suggest that you request them and then listen to them in timely sections at your convenience. So please let me begin this part 2 by answering the following question. What is RideBNB? Now, from my personal experience, knowledge, interpretation, observation, and understanding thus far, RideBNB, the concept and its applications are based on a smart contract cryptocurrency community build platform. Some also say community build program, community build system, or community build project. And before I continue, I ask that you please take note of the foundation, of the fundamental principle, the concept or if you prefer, the ideology, the system, if you will, upon which I was told and understood it to be built. It was presented to me as a community build platform. And it was that fundamental principle that attracted me, that appealed to my humanity. It was that fundamental principle that invoked my humanitarian instincts and both inspired and motivated me to join. It was and it is that said fundamental principle that has inspired and motivated me to encourage other people like myself to join as well. Yes, it was the fact that it was presented to me as a community build platform. And I understood it and still believe it to be such. And that is why I am still telling people about it and encouraging them to get involved. And for the record, it was not only for the potential huge sum of BNB coin, which is equal to money, that any member, including myself, could be rewarded with and will be rewarded with for working the system, and especially if done ethically. Not at all. It was not the money. It was not the BNB. The BNB equal money was not and still is not the primary motivation factor why I became a member of RideBNB. But it was the fact that it was presented to me as a community build platform, meaning a community build effort for which no one that is a functioning part of the community and thereby do what he or she is supposed to do in the community will or can be left behind. For your information, if not for your reminder, the word community, both by meaning and definition, and in all practical reality, means come unite. Come and unite. Come together. Let us come together and unite. It means a group of people coming together to build something that is for the benefit, aka the common good of all its participants, the benefit of all its people. It is not a selfish thing or a competitive thing, wherein one person or just a small group of persons succeed or is succeeding. A small group of people win or is winning, and to add salt to the injuries, boasting and telling others how much they have won and how much they are winning and the short time in which they have won and is winning, etc. While the remaining, and particularly the majority of its members, are sometimes tempted to be jealous, looking on, and sometimes are forced to cheer for the people, some of whom may even call themselves and present themselves as leaders and also as representatives for the community. That, from my perspective, is most definitely not a community build platform. Such conduct does not reflect a community build platform, but in all its manifestations, the opposite of a community build platform or a community build project. From my perspective, if or when most, if not all things are considered, some of these so-called leaders and so-called builders are greeders. a new word I've concocted. Greeders and hustlers. And how do we know? It is by their fruit. That is how we can know. And that is how we know them. By the way, have you ever asked yourself any or all of these questions? Who is a leader? Or who really is a leader? And to take it one step further, who really is a community leader? Because it seems like everybody is claiming to be a leader, and everybody wants to be a leader today, in these days. And just for the record, and as you all shall no doubt shortly see, hear and evaluate for yourself, I, the Mystic Philosopher, with the exception of being a leader in my house, in my home, and in my personal life, I am not a leader. And nor do I claim to be one or want to be one either. And neither am I necessarily a follower of those who claim to lead, but do not demonstrate the qualities and characteristics or fit the qualifications and the competency that would be required to lead an analytical truth seeker like myself. From my perspective, a leader is someone who knows where he or she is going or taking the people or things that he or she is taking there. And even though he or she might not have practically or physically been to that destination where he or she is taking those he or she leads, but he or she has the intelligence to study the roadmaps, to study the terrain, the landscape, and at least knows the right direction to travel in order to get there. A leader is someone who will put at great risk his or her own life, let alone his or her own wealth and success, just to ensure that the people he or she leads or the things that he or she leads get to their destination and gets there and gets to its destination safely and as promised. A leader is one who will face all the dangers and lose just to protect the lives and the well-being of those that he or she leads. They will face all the dangers and all the losses just to protect the lives and well-being of those he or she leads. And leaders are the first, and leaders will be the first to take responsibility for the losses, for any errors, and every failures or every failure of the people or things that he or she leads. Leaders know that it is their responsibility and a responsibility that they hold sacred to bring the best out of the people that they lead. Leaders don't blame the people that he or she leads or try to make them feel guilty for not winning, guilty for not succeeding, guilty for not being able or capable of measuring up to them, the leaders, and their successes. But they blame themselves for not doing a good enough job for their people to win, for their people to succeed or to be successful. Leaders will blame themselves. True leaders do. For their people, they will blame themselves for their people to arrive alive at their destination in cases, and in the case of RideBNB, for their people to make life-changing money. They know that it is their responsibility to do that. On the contrary, and should they fail, they blame themselves. Now, other than the fancy slick talkers or the fancy slick talks that you may hear from many so-called leaders today. Let me give you a practical example of who and what I perceive a real leader to be, and one that most of us can visualize, and one that most of us may have already experienced and enjoyed their leadership, their competency, and especially in difficult times, as in the case of an emergency. Think of a leader of a ship, aka the captain. He or she knows that it is his or her responsibility, or his or her pledged responsibility to take his or her passengers, aka his or her sailors or cargo, to their destination safely and on time. The captain does not look for shortcuts either. He looks for the right route, and patiently and carefully, they know that it is their responsibility to take their passengers or their sailors to the destination and on time. And in the case of an emergency, the captain's first priority is not himself, is not his own life, but his passengers and crew. And in the case of a sinking ship, the leader, aka the captain, is the last one to leave and abandon the ship. And if he or she is unable to get off the ship, he or she will go down with the ship. And that is leadership. Leaders, aka captains, are the last to get off the ship. Therefore, leaders are supposed to be the last to make money, and the last to be boasting of their earnings and winnings, especially when the ship is still a sail and most of their passengers don't even have a clue as to how far the destination is and how or when they will get paid, or how far they are from their destination, which is what? Getting paid. And another notable characteristics of a captain or a pilot of an airplane, both the leader and their passengers always arrive at their destination at the same time. Finally, for now, leaders know that the people they lead don't care about the amount of money they make. The people that they lead don't care about the abundance of wealth they may possess, the qualifications they might have, or the status and power they may wield, but they only care, people only care about them, the leaders caring for and about them, the people. People don't know, and their well-being. People don't care about other people's wealth and position, but people just care. I would like to know that people care about them. So, if my perspective is correct, and if all the aforementioned criteria are to be met in order to be truly called a leader, then I must hereby regretfully inform you that regardless of how well we may receive, or rather how well we may revere some for their financial successes, the evidence is hereby showing that many that are calling themselves leaders are far from it. They are definitely not leaders. So to continue answering the question, what is RideBNB? RideBNB is based on a smart contract cryptocurrency community build platform program system/project. And to the best of my current knowledge, it was designed, developed, and implemented by one or more philanthropic developers. And the purpose of which is to help change people's lives the world over, positively and also financially. And the people for whom it was designed, developed, and implemented are those of us that are considered to be the least fortunate, or some say the less fortunate. Those of us who may have possibly fallen on hard times, those of us that may need a second chance, those of us who need a true helping hand, those of us who may have lost hope, especially hope in the system, hope in both our leaders and so-called leaders alike. Those of us who may have lost hope in our fellow human, those of us who the system and its oligarchs have written off as worthless, in fact, as worth nothing, aka as useless eaters. Those are terms that are used to describe some of us. Those of us that are the financially burdened and oppressed, etc. From my perspective, that is what RideBNB is. And those are the reasons people for whom it was developed. Those are the people and the reasons for whom it was developed. Members or people like myself join the RideBNB community by using Binance Coin, BNB coin, which the system then give to the member who recruited, sponsored, or paid forward for them. And from all the live testimonials that I have personally heard from people from all over the world, RideBNB is truly changing some of these people's lives for the better financially and otherwise. And for those that have recently joined and have not yet received their promised reward, but are still doing what is required of them to do in order to succeed, at least now they have hope. They are now filled with optimism and enthusiasm about life, all because of RideBNB. Now, I just answered the question, what is RideBNB? And told you that RideBNB is based on a smart contract cryptocurrency community build platform. The next logical question that most of you that don't already know what a contract is will ask this question: what is a smart contract? For those of you who don't already know. But even before I answer that question, what is a smart contract? Please let me first ask and answer the question, what is a contract? Also known as a traditional contract. Well, a contract by meaning and definition is a written or a spoken agreement between two or more people, and especially one concerning employment, sales, or tenancy that is intended to be enforced by law. Now, the other question is this: can contracts, aka traditional contracts, be broken? And the answer is yes, 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 and more yeses. Verbal contracts, aka verbal agreements, have been broken and are being broken, and written contracts of all forms have been broken and are being broken on both sides of the contract. For example, in all network marketing companies, also known as multi-level marketing companies, MLM, that I am aware of and have also been involved in, they all have contracts, also called terms of agreement, that are designed by the company's owners, lawyers, shareholders, and management team, etc. Designed in favor of the companies without any input whatsoever of the members, and for which all the members must agree. If you don't agree, you just cannot join the business opportunity. Also written within these multi-level marketing contracts or terms of agreement is a complete totalitarian clause stating that the company has and reserved the rights to change the terms and conditions within this contract at any time and without notice or even consultation with its members and distributors. In other words, you could be making $10,000 a month, as an example, and the next month they change the terms of agreement or change the contract and you're back on the employment line or at the manpower agency looking for work, meaning rug pull. They pull the rug from under your feet. So now we know what a contract is. The question here now is this: what is a smart contract? And what is the difference between the aforementioned contracts or terms of agreement? And why is the preferred way to go and to do business by many people today, especially those of us that are in the cryptocurrency space? Why is it our favorite? Why is smart contract so appealing to us? Well, to answer that question, here is a quote from an article titled Smart Contracts versus Traditional Contracts. And it can be found on a website called geeks4geeks.org. And I quote, "A smart contract is a self-executing contract that contains computer code that controls the term of a transaction between two or more parties. Smart contracts are designed to be fully automated and self-enforcing, meaning that they are able to execute themselves without the need for third-party intervention. This allows smart contract to be used in a wide range of applications such as financial transactions, asset management, and data sharing. What are some advantages of RideBNB smart contract that we, the members of the community, can knowingly and readily attest to and can confidently speak about in our presentations and conversations with our prospect? A smart contract makes the RideBNB affiliate program unique by automating transactions, ensuring transparency, and eliminating intermediaries. In other words, no human intervention, no company management, no upline or sideline who may not like you or may be holding a grudge against you for whatever the reason or reasons. Maybe for just asking questions that may question their character, their greed, and the way that they might be conducting their businesses that you might be involving, or the business that you might be involving, or criticizing them for their unprofessional conduct and other questionable behavior. You name it, or you name them. But none of them can influence management to spite you, to sabotage you, or to hold back your commissions, or even steal your rightfully owned commissions. That is a smart contract. The smart contract boosts security, reduces fraud, and streamlines operations, distinguishing RideBNB from all centralized platforms. 1, ownership free, No one owned RideBNB. 2, no administration. 3, immutable codes. The codes cannot be broken. As mentioned earlier, it cannot be hacked. No payout requirements needed. It's fully decentralized. Number 6, instant payout 24/7. Number 7, global reach. Number 8, stable compensation plan. Number 9, no management control. Number 10, autonomous operation. And number 11, runs on the RideBNB blockchain, not on a centralized service or not on centralized servers. And it doesn't stop there. Blockchain and smart contracts are the more powerful capabilities. So in summary, the system is fair. The OP RideBNB system or the RideBNB system is fair and works the same way for all members of our community. No one can hack it, cheat it, or change or alter its programming to be or to do otherwise. So from these facts, we can and we must logically conclude that if there is a problem with any of us receiving commissions or promotions or getting ahead and making millions of dollars on this platform, etc., that the problem is not with RideBNB community build smart contract. The problem is not with RideBNB, but that it is with our knowledge, our understanding, overstanding, and application of it. We are the ones that are in error. It is us or it will be us that fail and not the system. It is also quite unfortunate but true that sometimes we may find a great product with a bad company and a bad product with a good company. And sometimes we may be fortunate to find a great program like we do with a great company. Only this time there's really no company, it's only the blockchain. But what happened in most companies that most of us have experienced, the leaders and the representatives end up messing up things for everyone else. Now, let me quickly do an introduction to the compensation plan. Now, please let me introduce the compensation plan to you, or reintroduce, because I did mention it in part 1. I think that I should make another disclaimer here and let you all know that I am not an expert at it, at least not yet. But I do think that I have read enough, listened enough, and thus far know enough to at least give you the basics that will hopefully pique your interest some more and have you look deeper into getting involved if you are not already involved or if you have not already done so. And possibly inspire you to avoid some, if not all, of the stupid mistakes that a lot of us have made, and how you can get started right. The smart contract program is programmed to pay you on the amount of people that you have on the level that you're at. In the next presentation, I will present a graph or a chart. How does the RideBNB smart contract compensation plan work? Now, let me go through the levels, the ranks, the numbers, and their income potential, and how we get paid. Let me go through that with you quickly. Now, in order for you to make money or to get paid on the RideBNB smart contract, here are 5 simple steps that you must follow. And they are as follows. Number 1, you must sign up on your sponsor's link. When you sign up on your sponsor's link, and your sponsor is the person, of course, who recruited you or bring you or tell you about this opportunity. When you sign up on your sponsor's link, you will receive your own referral link for you to have your 2 referrals sign up on. Number 2, you must sponsor 2 people or pay it forward for 2 people. Number 3, you get paid. Number 4, you upgrade to the next level. And number 5, you teach the 2 people that you have sponsored or help them to sponsor 2 people each. Now, if you can do that, then you are on the RideBNB success journey, success train to be potentially making thousands of BNB equal millions and millions of dollars, fiat currency. Now, level 1 is beginner, and it is called beginner. Here you only need 0.044 BNB, which is approximately equal to $2.57 to $3 US, to sign up, and a maximum of 2 qualified people to get started and in RideBNB with you. Qualified people. And let me repeat, qualified people. And what do I mean by 2 qualified people? From my perspective, and the record will no doubt show and prove that one of the reasons, and quite possible, it is the main reason why most of us fail and are continuing to fail at most, if not all of our life's endeavors, failed at achieving our goals, failed at our life's ambitions, failed at most of our businesses or most of our business ventures and other noble adventures in life, and even failed at personal relationships, I might add, is because we did not take the time to qualify and choose our partners well enough. I think that it was the late Percy Sledge in one of his songs by the same name, who said, and I quote, "It takes time to know her," unquote. And I am hereby saying that we must know and choose qualified RideBNB business partners as well. I know that this may sound a little bit strange, if not weird, to some of you. In fact, people are so thin-skinned these days that some of you might even be offended by this truth. But if given careful thought, most of you will agree that it is true and that choosing the right partners make good business sense. So what do I mean by 2 qualified people? And where and how can I find them? Some of you might be asking. First, allow me to say this. And I hereby ask that you listen and listen very carefully. If after hearing this, my answer and my suggestions to these 2 questions, and if you still can't find 2 qualified people, then I must regretfully inform you that your corner is very dark. It is so dark that no one will even mourn your death, bearing in mind that you will need at least 2 to 4 or 2 to 6 people to carry your body at your funeral, to take your body to the grave or even to the crematorium to be burnt or to be buried or to be disposed of. And so I will not accept that excuse that you don't know or you can't find 2 qualified people. Moreover, the 2 qualified people can be from anywhere in the world, or they can be maybe living anywhere in the world. It just don't make rational sense to I, the Mystic P. Now, according to the late Jamaican reggae artist, the Honorable Dennis Emmanuel Brown, in one of his songs titled "No Man is an Island," and I quote, he said, "No man is an island, no man stands alone. Each man has a brother, and remember, each man's dream has a road." Now we need one another, oh yes, and we ought to try to be friends. Each man has a brother, each man has a friend, unquote. So none of us is an island. A man by man, that not just man, but woman as well. By two qualified people, I literally mean that among all the people that you personally know and think you know, among all the people that you are associated with, have encountered and interacted with daily, do business with, grew up with, go to school with, studied with, worked with, go to church with, go to the temple or the mosque with, prayed and worship with, play games with, hang out with, and can think of, etc. Choose only the two that from your perspective and wise judgment are the two that believe in you personally and in your business opportunity the most. Those are the two. That's one. Choose the two people that are the two most trusting and trustworthy, the two most reliable, the two that are the most punctual, the two that respect time the most. Choose the two people that you know will say what they mean and do what they say. Choose the two people that are very seldom late for meetings and appointments. Choose the two people that you won't have to be calling, begging, and reminding that there is a scheduled Zoom meeting or gathering. Choose the two people that are the most honest, the most sincere, the most ambitious, the most focused, the most purpose-driven, the two most resilient, the two most optimistic, the two most generous, the two most caring, the two people that you know are not afraid to risk a $3 to a $35 to potentially to be potentially rewarded with millions. Choose the two people that you know are not satisfied. They are not satisfied and content with their current financial status. Two people that have staying power and will not bail on you if or when the going gets tough. The two of your most well-wishers, meaning the two people that truly and most sincerely wish you well and truly wish for you and will do whatever it might take for ethically, of course, for your prosperity or for you to prosper. Choose the two that are the most immune to the venomous, cancerous, and contagious disease called selfishness and greed. And above all, choose two that are the most deserving of becoming multi-millionaires with you. These are the two people that you must choose to be your front line and your business partners. And if you can't find two such people to ride with you on the journey of financial success with RideBNB flight success, then I can tell you without any apology, I might add, that your chances of maximizing this opportunity may be compromised, if not, will be seriously compromised. You will end up having to settle for less. In fact, you will end up having to settle for far less than what the system is designed, written, and programmed to pay you without prejudice. My late mama always say, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. And I say to you, show me your business partners. Show me your two RideBNB frontline business partners. And I will predict with 99.9% accuracy what will be the final outcome of your business. And according to the prolific author and poet, Catherine Pulsfair, and I quote, life presents many choices. The choices we make determine our future, unquote. My people, listeners the world over, and you all my fellow RideBNB hopeful, please let me fess up to you. In all my almost 66 years of physical life on this planet called Earth, and on this side of what we perceive as reality, I have never seen, or let alone been given an opportunity along with a very simple, honest, selfless, and workable plan whereby I could potentially make thousands of tokens that can and that could equate to making millions and millions of dollars. I personally have never had a job that promised me that if I work hard enough, steadfast enough at it, I would make millions of dollars, thereby retiring early and live the rest of my life financially stress-free. I personally have never had that in all my 66 plus almost 66 years. I've never had such a job, and neither was I ever known of such a job, let alone offered such an opportunity. You see, my goal is to reach level 12 and beyond. And I know what I must know in order to achieve that rank. I know that to get there is a serious business, but I also know that to get there is far easier and offer far more guarantees than my chances of ever winning the Ontario lottery or the US Powerball lottery. I know that to get there, I must sponsor and recruit the right people and the right partners to support me as I, in turn, genuinely support them. I know that I will and must experience challenges, oppositions, setbacks, disappointments, criticisms, and resistance. I know that it won't be smooth sailing and that it can't be smooth sailing all the way to the top. I know that while on this RideBNB journey, I will experience and must experience lots of ridicule. I know that I must and that I will experience a lot of naysayers and lots of people saying no to me. A lot of people saying I am not interested. A lot of people rejecting my offering. A lot of people telling me that I am on another wild goose chase. A lot of people laughing at me and telling me and teasing me that I am involved in a scam. I know that I have and will continue to have a lot of people telling me that it won't last. You name it or you name them. But as my late mom would say, he who laughs last will always laugh the best. And I am looking forward with great anticipation to have the last laugh. To quote one of the greatest Jamaican dance hall artists and performer of the late 80s and 90s, Mr. Admiral Bailey, and I quote, "When you think me done? Yes, when you think me done, but I come, it just I come." Unquote. Now, if some of you, my listeners, are fortunate like I am to have more than 2 such qualified people to choose from, then lucky you. All you now have to do is to strategically place them in your business organization. For your information, this is a very serious business opportunity. RideBNB is a very serious opportunity, and especially for some of you that are retired but broke like me. This is indeed a very serious business opportunity to make some money that may help redeem our dignity financially. And one that, from my perspective, is one that must be taken and treated as such very seriously. Meaning all attention must be given to every detail. If you treat this business, this your RideBNB business opportunity casually, I can guarantee you that it will end up another casualty. Consequently, you don't want to just conveniently put any and anyone or the very first easy sign up that you come across or you can find, or your chicken, or your cat, or your pet on your level 1, aka your front line. For that could sooner or later spell disaster for you by you not reaching your goals. And why? It is because these two people will be your closest business partners and confidants. And if you don't select and put the right qualified people, as mentioned before, to work with you, those that you may choose may sabotage you and your efforts. And some may do all that they can, even if they will sabotage and hurt themselves. Sabotage and hurt their own potential success in RideBNB, just to spoil things for you. Please don't intentionally put doubters and all different type of cantankerous people. Don't put doubters and cantankerous people. And those that don't believe in what you're doing, but are just riding along just in case. Remember that it is not everybody that we know and talk to would like to see us success or to see us succeed in anything, let alone becoming millionaires and multimillionaires with this RideBNB opportunity, business opportunity. Some people, even though they may sign up with us at the beginning, that does not mean that they are 100% in alignment with our dream or our vision and our goals. And there are many others that will not join you and are just sitting, watching and waiting with their ears cocked like a sniper's rifle, just waiting to hear that the project and your business fail, that there is a rug pull. In Jamaica, we call them bad mind. So please, in as much as it is humanly possible, especially for those of you who are just looking at this business and coming in, please, in as much as, because some of us made that mistake, in as much as it's humanly possible, please don't choose bad-minded people to work with you on your front line, for they will covertly and in some cases overtly work against you. They will do things to hurt you and your business opportunity. Yes, they will do things, subtle things, and sometimes deliberate things to hurt you and your business opportunity. And there is no doubt about it. Now, this is the end of part 2. And so I shall not detain your patience or infringe on your time any much longer, but ask that you please join me in the continuation in part 3, where I will focus and talk on the RideBNB compensation plan some more. In the meantime and between time, I will that you be more and much, much more. And definitely not that you be less, aka bless. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.